Typhoon Wipha, one of the fiercest storms to strike East and Southeast Asia this year, swept across the region with a fury that few could have imagined. As it tore into the southern coast of China and reached deep into northern Vietnam, wind speeds soared past 100 miles per hour. Torrents of rain turned bustling streets into rivers and neighborhoods into islands. More than 670,000 people in China alone were urgently evacuated from their homes, leaving behind everything they knew in hopes of surviving what was to come. Officials acted quickly, but the scale of Wipha's power was overwhelming. Torrential downpours overwhelmed drainage systems. Coastal towns were left underwater. Roads vanished beneath floodwaters, and power lines snapped like twigs in the wind. Entire communities waited in darkness, unsure of what the morning would bring. In Vietnam, the storm's reach was just as deadly. The outer rainbands, hundreds of miles from the eye, whipped up violent seas. A tourist boat in Halong Bay capsized in the chaos. At least 36 lives were lost. Families are still waiting, still hoping that their loved ones will be found. Search and rescue crews fought against powerful currents and dangerous waves, risking their own lives to save others. Flights were grounded. Ports shuttered. Major bridges connecting cities across southern China were closed for safety. In Hong Kong, the highest-level storm warning was issued, lasting nearly 7 hours. Winds ripped through the city with sustained speeds of nearly 90 miles per hour. Glass shattered. Trees were torn from the ground. Streets filled with flying debris. Though dozens were injured, quick action from medical teams helped prevent loss of life in Hong Kong. Emergency rooms remained on standby all night. Meanwhile, power companies worked tirelessly to restore electricity to neighborhoods left in the dark. In some places, over 4 inches of rain fell in just a few hours. The land, already soaked, couldn't hold any more. And so it spilled into homes, into schools, into people's lives. Across the region, temporary shelters were set up for those displaced by the storm. Children clutched blankets. Elderly residents sat in silence, unsure of when or they could return home. Fishing boats were recalled. Oil rigs evacuated. Schools and factories closed their doors, not for a holiday, but for survival. In Vietnam's northern provinces, Quang Ninh, Haiphong, and Thanh Hoa, the rain kept falling. Some areas braced for up to 20 inches. The fear wasn't just floods. It was the landslides that often follow. People tied up their doors. Volunteers filled sandbags. In small towns, neighbors helped one another reinforce riverbanks by hand. Time was running out. But Wipha's reach didn't end with China and Vietnam. Across the South China Sea, the Philippines endured severe flooding from the enhanced southwest monsoon. Nearly 90,000 people had to flee their homes. Landslides swept away homes. Families mourned loved ones. In Taiwan and Japan, roads turned into torrents. And in South Korea, the southern provinces experienced a nightmare: massive floods and deadly landslides. At least 18 lives lost. 11 more still missing. Each name, each face, someone's daughter, someone's father. These were not just statistics. These were lives full of stories, abruptly and cruelly interrupted. The loss is immense. The grief, unimaginable. Experts now say the storm's strength came from a perfect storm of conditions. Record-high sea temperatures, favorable wind patterns, and a monsoon season already in full swing. The ocean gave Wipha fuel, and the atmosphere gave it direction. But what makes this storm different is how far it reached. Wipha wasn't just powerful, it was massive. Rainbands hundreds of miles wide meant destruction wasn't limited to the eye of the storm. Even distant areas felt its wrath. Scientists also warn of a troubling trend. Southern China is now seeing stronger, more frequent typhoons. As global temperatures rise, so too does the risk of disasters like Wipha. Instead of turning out to sea, storms are staying closer to land, causing longer-lasting damage and endangering more lives. This isn't just about one typhoon. It's a glimpse into the future. Even as Wipha weakens, the recovery has only just begun. Streets remain flooded. Homes are destroyed. Power is still being restored in dozens of towns. And the search for the missing, especially those lost at sea, continues under heartbreaking conditions. Volunteers are cooking meals for strangers. Neighbors are lending hands and hope. Humanity shines brightest in the darkest storms. For many, this storm will never be forgotten. It will live in the scars on the landscape, and in the hearts of those who survived. And for the families who lost loved ones, no words can ease that pain. We stand with them in grief and solidarity. The typhoon season isn't over. Experts caution that more storms may form in the coming weeks. Wipha may be gone, but its shadow lingers, in flooded fields, in broken homes, in the silence after the storm. Now is the time for preparedness. Now is the time to strengthen early warning systems, to build resilient communities, and to learn from every painful lesson nature teaches us. Recovery will take time, but step by step, day by day, the people of China, Vietnam, the Philippines, South Korea, and beyond are standing back up. Together, aid is arriving, shelters are being rebuilt, and despite everything, life goes on. There is strength in unity. And there is healing in hope. To all who have suffered, we send our deepest condolences. To the families who lost loved ones, may you find peace. To the responders and volunteers, thank you. And to every viewer, remember, nature can strike at any moment. Let us prepare, let us care, and above all, let us not forget. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay safe, stay resilient, and stand together.